Arden spoke first.
Eironn, my students perceive me as a towering peak. They strive to become the greatest archers, warriors, and mages, guarding the dark forest under my guidance. But Atheus?
I just so happen to be a lanky mage. No need to panic. I just
No,
so
you
happen
don't.
to be a lanky mage. No need. Oh, mind your step. Ha! Perfect for a smackdown on your mug.
I thought that said perfect for a smackdown on your mom for like the first 10 times I heard it.
Belong in cages.
You know, I have to say, I don't think that's something that a wilder would say. I like strongly object to the idea that a wilder would say
cleanse this wickedness.
wild beasts belong in cages. That's like the opposite of a thing a wilder would say, and I feel like it's a pretty serious oversight.
Wild beasts belong in cages.
Yeah, right. Atheus, pride of Arbor. The stands were unusually packed as dusk settled over the dark forest's sunset hall. But this wasn't a showdown between top-tier fighters. It was a make-or-break match for a lower-ranked combatant. Failure meant losing the chance to compete further, even for someone under the tutelage of Arden, hailed as nature's voice. Among Arden's students, pinpointing the most exceptional was tricky. But when it came to the most inept, everyone turned to the arena's perpetual punching bag, Atheus. Oh dear, Eironn? The opposite gate swung open, drawing audible sighs from the crowd as they glimpsed Atheus's opponent. Eironn was a standout duelist in the dark forest. Atheus stood no chance. Hello, cousin. Let's get started. Atheus was optimistic, wielding his stag-headed staff in an unconventional stance, readying himself for the clash. The spectators had grown tired of Atheus's unconventional tactics. In this forest, everyone had their niche. Mages, warriors, assassins, and rangers, all contributing in their own ways to safeguard the territory. But where Atheus fit remained an enigma. Sometimes he sparred with Eironn and Kaz, and other times he meditated alongside Lorsan and Solis, sensing the flow of magic. Atheus dabbled in everything, yet his fighting style lacked finesse. Relying on sheer strength, he barely scraped by to secure a lowly rank in the arena. Can relate. Each time Atheus trudged back from the fights, battered and grimy, Arden remained silent, handing him a healing potion. Fellow disciples were puzzled. Atheus's broad range of skills seemed more a hindrance than an advantage. Why didn't Arden offer him guidance? The match began. Eironn, devoid of expression, approached Atheus without unsheathing his sword. Had it not been for Arden's request, he wouldn't have been there. Eironn's gaze flickered towards Arden, seated in the spectator stands. Was this simply a lesson for Atheus, to finally put an end to his reckless ways? Eironn didn't dwell on this. One swift strike would settle it. He wasn't here to waste time. Atheus began to retreat, mirroring Eironn's every step forward. By the fourth step, Atheus stood firm, but Eironn didn't stop. 1, 2, Atheus muttered softly. At the count of 2, he bowed down and flipped forward, Eironn's sword leaving a scratch on his stag-headed staff. Come on, Eironn. Show me what you've got. Atheus and Eironn almost traded places, stepping onto where the other had just been. Beads of sweat dripped from Atheus's chin. I won't take you lightly. Eironn, taken aback, drew another sword. Judging from Atheus's earlier response, Eironn had decided Atheus was a capable warrior. But with that staff, was he a mage? Eironn wielded his swords, channeling the wind and ice, stunning the audience with his intensity. Is he aiming to finish Atheus off? Eironn leaped gracefully, swords singing through the air like a rainbow. Yet Atheus remained motionless. Just as the compressed air from the sword tips neared Atheus's forehead, Eironn noticed Atheus's left hand hadn't budged on the ground. The peculiar arm guard he wore was growing roots, delving into the ground. In the vulnerability of a swordsman mid-air, Atheus's forest magic surged precisely from underground, seizing Eironn's trailing leg. For an ordinary swordsman, this would have been a decisive blow, but Eironn effortlessly manipulated the wind, diverting its energy away from the sword tips and striking Atheus's temple, rendering him unconscious. Eironn is the winner! The referee declared. When Atheus regained consciousness, both Eironn and Arden stood by his side. I lost? That's a shame. Atheus stood up, rubbing his forehead. You have the instincts of a warrior, yet you fight like a mage. Why? Eironn questioned him. Arden spoke first.
Eironn, my students perceive me as a towering peak. They strive to become the greatest archers, warriors, and mages, guarding the dark forest under my guidance. But Atheus, he's the only one aiming for the summit.
Are you aiming to become an oak sage? Eironn was surprised for the second time that day. The leading oak sage Arden can't shelter us forever. Atheus spoke hesitantly as he touched the scratch on his stag-headed staff. Someone must succeed him.
Atheus, I've told you, my successor must bridge the old and the new. Mere mastery of magecraft or swordplay isn't enough. You need to forge a new path. I've seen your dedication to both martial arts and forest magic, tirelessly honing your abilities. In my eyes, you've taken the first step into the vast forest. It's time for you to leave the arena,
Arden said. You think I'm ready, teacher? Atheus grinned.
Eironn, what do you think?
Arden turned to him. While the small branch hasn't grown into a mighty tree, it casts a decent shade. You've got a good student, Master Arden. Eironn sheathed his swords and departed, without looking back. Hey guys, it's Danger. If you liked this, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to hear more, come check us out on the weekends where I'm streaming live on Twitch, AFK Arena, and AFK Journey every weekend morning, as well as my special lore-focused show on Sunday mornings, the Esperia Chronicles, hosted by my good friend and brilliant Esperia historian, Myseldate. She is truly something. You guys have to come hear her talk. And if you can't make it, you can catch the edited episodes as I release them right here on DangerGrey YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by, and until next time, stay safe, Esperians.